One of my favorite achievements was winning the Golden Skull at Screamfest for the film Retaliators. I always wanted one of those. They're really cool, and it made me feel very happy for all the hard work we put into that one. Hi, I'm KC Mussman. I am a makeup department head, a producer, and the owner of Nocturnal Designz Studios. Since I was a kid, my dad would have Monster Night. He was a big cinephile, so I grew up around film. We loved researching, learning everything. And I think it was when Jurassic Park came out and they published this book and they just showed all of the work on the animatronics, Stan Winston's work, and it just blew my mind, and I knew I wanted to do this. First job. So I've always done makeup kind of as a hobby. Halloween was always my favorite thing. When I started working, I was working a desk job in a CGI department, and I just really wanted to do a lot of these things practically, so I started doing that on the side. Friends and family would ask me if I could come and do things for them, and kind of just rolled and escalated into film. And then one day, a friend of mine did a YouTube video and he needed 40 zombies. So I really got into it. I reached out to a whole bunch of people, figured out how to do everything, sculpting, molding, kind of on my own at first. And we did those 40 zombies. It was the time of my life. I hardly knew what I was doing back then, but I just knew this is what I wanted to do. So I started pursuing that. So that was pretty much technically my first job. The hiring process since I began has significantly changed. When I started working, we didn't have social media, so we would have a portfolio book. You needed to have everything in print, and you would go in person and submit your book, go on auditions. The bosses would be looking through those photos. But today, with social media and all of the advances, things have changed a lot. I mean, it's still word of mouth, but a lot of it comes through Instagram, through YouTube, through IMDb. My bosses will be looking at my Instagram and going off that, or asking me what my social media handles are so that they can look what we're doing. Face Off. I was a big Face Off fan. When I first saw the first season, it kind of just blew my mind. I loved it. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, and I just told myself I really want to be on the show. And I ended up being on season 12, so it was a real closure moment for me, from being a complete hobbyist watching Face Off to actually being on the show after establishing a career. I was on the shop season, and we just had a great time. It was really fun. I call that show a concept show, because we do all of the work in 3 days, which is not realistic in film and television world. Nowadays, when we make creatures and designs, they'll take us anywhere from a month to 3 months to create these creatures. But on Face Off, they really pushed us to a 3-day, very quick amount of time to make a creature. So the creatures there that you see on Face Off, while they're not exactly camera ready, the concepts that you come up with are amazing. It just like really quickly throws you into the deep water and makes you be creative. Recently, I've had some big wins becoming a producer. My greatest achievements so far are producing films that I am having a really great time doing. We're getting everything we want. Design-wise, I can create, I can control my own designs. Last year, we produced 4 features, all very different, all horror, and I had the best time doing them, so I'm very proud of that. So Nocturnal Designz Studio, when I got out of school myself, it was very hard to get a job. I was going all over town trying to find a job at a shop, and I worked at some shops, worked at ADI for a little bit, I worked at a few places, but I decided instead of just constantly going out and waiting, that I would start doing this myself. I always wanted to have a shop. It was always a dream of mine, even before I came out to makeup school. When I was still kind of starting out, I'd go to all these productions with a suitcase full of limbs and say, hey, do you want any of this? But I always knew I wanted a shop, and I just jumped off the deep end and I started working really hard. I had 2 part-time jobs to start my business that I would do throughout the day, and at night I would work on Nocturnal Designz, so that's the namesake. Nocturnal Designz is a small studio and it's very concept driven. So we do a lot of the concept art and we start the entire process from pre-pro all the way to post. And we do a lot of 3D printing. We got into the game very, very early. We do a lot of concept art in digital and traditional as well. And we produce, which is something that's a little bit different. So we are a little bit more involved in the entire production. Because this industry is constantly changing and everything is always evolving, it's good not to rest on your laurels. It's not enough to just know how to do a pretty makeup or a good special effects application. You also have to be a hustler and go out and find that next job. So you're really in charge of your own fate. We're all freelancers, we're all artists and creatives. So it's important to really get out there and learn new skills, become a well-rounded person. I always recommend to learn a little bit of other departments as well so that you know what the other departments are doing and you can be an assist to the production in those ways. So for instance, if there is a creature film, learning how to use all the softwares to do the concept art so that you can do both sides of the pre-production and the production. 3D printing is huge right now. Learning how to digitally create all of your work as well as traditionally is very important. So it's good to get more skills to become a very well-rounded worker and contribute more. You'll get more work that way. My favorite, sorry, I love everything. I enjoy concept art. I've always loved to draw. That was what I went to school for originally when I was a kid. I took a lot of drawing art classes and sculpting art classes. So I come from a traditional background with a lot of sculpting and drawing. And I really wanted to get into a career that I can use those two things, but also do more. So being a makeup artist, I love to apply, I love to be on set, and I also love being a part of the production. So being a department head, running the business, and being a producer as well. So I find that the film industry really gives me that platform where I can do all the things that I love in one job. The biggest challenge in this industry right now, I would say, is basically budgets and quickly evolving technologies. As we go forward in time, new technologies are coming in, such as AI, and we have to adapt really, really quickly to these things. Being a studio that also does some of that as part of our work really helps us not to be left behind and face those challenges. Because as part of a production, being able to get the work done within budget when these budgets are so small and the time limits are really crazy today. Everything's being done faster and at shorter turnaround times. So we really focus on being able to cater to these productions and to do our work faster by also bringing in more departments to our studio, such as CGI, post-production, and 3D printing, 3D scanning. So ever since I was a kid, I just loved horror and I loved fantasy. I was always very drawn to films that did both, such as Guillermo del Toro, for instance, is a big inspiration. Going back to his first films, Cronus. Today everyone talks about, Frankenstein and Pan's Labyrinth, but Cronus was one of the first things that really influenced me as an artist. There was this beautiful jeweled contraption that was embedded into the skin, and all this blood was mixing with all of these bejeweled pieces and the metal, and it just looked so fantastical. And that was something that really inspired me to create more designs that are very fantastical and very detail oriented. I like to incorporate a lot of metals and jewels and unorganic matter and meld that with organic materials like flesh and blood. So you'll see a lot of very intricate patterns, things that are also inspired from architecture, specifically like Gothic architecture, cathedrals, inside the shapes that I sculpt inside all of those little notes. I just love adding detail. Detail is everything. On my wish list, I would absolutely have loved to work with Doug Jones. I've never had the opportunity. We did a project once together, but I didn't do Doug's makeup, and I just adore his creature performances. I adore how elegant he is, how he brings these creatures to life, and I would have loved to do a makeup on Doug Jones. My favorite film that came out recently is Frankenstein. It is beautiful. I love all the camera work. I love how every single thing about that film is highly detailed. And from the makeup to the wardrobe, the costumes, the sets, it's just a beautiful film. And, you know, we all want to make a film like that, don't we? My favorite snack, popcorn. So advice I can give you starting out in your career is, first of all, really listen to your intuition, go for it. If this is what you want to do, then you're going to want to hustle and really make your world about makeup. Research, get into all the workshops you can take workshops, take classes, learn color theory, learn anatomy. It is so important to become that well-rounded artist that when you're on a job, you can use all of these tools in your toolbox to create good work. I'm very proud of Ted, Seth MacFarlane's Ted TV show. Another season's just about to come out, and we do a lot of makeup on that show. It is a period, it is 90s, it's funny, so we get to do a lot of fantasy makeups on it and period makeups on it. There's a lot of beards, and it's just an all-around great show that I'm very proud to work on. I'm the key makeup artist on that one. It's a great ride. You're gonna love it. If you want to see more of our work, check out Nocturnal Designz. On Instagram, it is nocturnal_designs, and you can see our website at www.nocturnaldesignz.com. I'm KC Mussman from Nocturnal Designz, and thanks for watching.